Welcome to my second video on learning Japanese through translating trading cards. So today we're still keeping it simple. I've got the card shown on the left, so let's dive in and have a go. So the name of this card isたいこうじゅもん. Ta-I-Ko-Ju-Mon. So you can split this up into two separate words. Call this one the first and this one the second. So the first word we have taiko. So taiko, we've got these two kanji with very similar meanings. The first one, tai, it's almost like an anti-something. And the second is ko. So this, there's a verb in Japanese using this kanji, aragao. The verb aragao is to resist something. So combining these two things just creates a word with much the same meaning. So it's in opposition, it's opposing, rivalry, that kind of thing. So let's make a note of those. We'll say opposition. Confrontation. The second is jumon. Jumon is a spell, not something you sort of come across in text that often, but in fantasy games and things like that, jumon is often interpreted just directly as a spell. So putting these together, we have opposition and spell. So that's more naturally translated into English as something like counterspell. So let's write that. Counterspell. You can reveal first part of the English to see. There we go. Counterspell. Next, we can look at translating the card type. So the card type is just this small bit of text here that I've also got written here. So this is just directly from the English. It's only in katakana. This says instanto. So this is an instant. Okay, let's move on to the next bit and translate exactly what this card does. So we'll read it through first. 呪文一つを対象とする. So we haven't seen this kanji yet. The reading here is 小, 対象. We've seen 呪文, that's a spell. 呪文一つを対象とする. それを打ち消す. 打ち消す. Okay, so this first bit you see 呪文一つ. 呪文一つ is a single spell. And then we have a word here, たいしょう. たいしょう is a target. So 呪文一つを対象とする is to target the spell. Now, you may have seen にする before instead of とする. にする. So にする is when making a choice out of a number of things. So for example, if I had a menu and was deciding what to eat, I would pick my choice with にする. They have a very similar meaning, but the nuance of 対象とする versus 対象にする is that とする, where someone else has made the boundaries or the rules of what I can target, whereas にする gives the idea that there's lots of choices and I've made one of those choices. So とする makes more sense when defining what a card can do. This first bit we can translate as target a spell. Then それを打ち消す. So 打ち消す, we have two kanji appearing in there. Both appear in their own sort of verbs. So firstly, there is a verb 打つ. 打つ is to hit or strike something like a ball or a football, and 消す is to erase something. For example, it could be to erase your writing if you had done that in pencil or something like that. So それを打ち消す. We can get the rough meaning by just seeing それを消す. So that would be erase that thing, where that thing, それ, is referring to this spell that we've targeted. So 打ち消す is giving this feeling of a more, we're not just erasing it, we're sort of quite forcefully erasing it. So we could translate this as それを打ち消す, which would be, we could say deny or refute that spell. That would make sense, target the spell, then deny or refute it. But a more natural translation would be to use what's in the title already. So instead we might say counter that spell. So if we go through this one more time, 呪文一つを対象とする. That's target a spell. それを打ち消す. Counter that spell. Let's reveal the English and see how we did. There we go. So the English is just 3 words actually. Counter target spell. Here we've more literally translated it. Target a spell, counter that spell. But you see how we could shorten those and put it together. Okay, so that was Counterspell. I'm going to take any vocabulary and verbs, words, and place them in the description for reference. But yeah, I hope this was useful. See you in the next video.